No role is better suited for Stoic philosophy than the one you happen to be in right now. That was Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius said that about being emperor. He said nothing was more fitting for a philosopher than that. I don't think he was really talking about being emperor. He was saying that whatever job, whatever role you're in, whatever situation you're dealing with today, that is an opportunity to practice Stoicism. I'm Ryan Holiday. I've written a number of books about Stoic philosophy. I've spoken to the NBA, the NFL, sitting senators, special forces leaders, as well as a ton of different business owners and business leaders over the years who have applied Stoicism or are trying to apply Stoicism in their life. And that's what I wanted to talk about in today's episode. Some Stoic lessons for business leaders, whether you're running a small coffee shop or a multinational conglomerate, whether you're running a small bookstore like I do, or you're a solo entrepreneur or a freelance accountant. If you are in the business world, there is nothing so well suited to philosophy as that role, as what you do as your business. And so here specifically is how Stoicism can help you in those pursuits. There's a great story about Zeno, the founder of Stoicism. He's this successful merchant. He's leading a convoy of ships, and a storm hits, or he runs aground, suffers a terrible shipwreck. He loses everything, and he washes up penniless in Athens. But he stumbles into a bookstore, and there in the bookstore, he's introduced to philosophy and goes on to found Stoicism. And he would say later, I made a great fortune when I suffered a shipwreck. He said, thus fortune did drive me to philosophy. The shipwreck is the best thing that ever happened to him. It shapes his life because he allows it to shape his life. So the point is, this thing that's happening to you, this thing that you were fighting so hard that you wish hadn't happened, you have no idea where it will lead. You have no idea what you can make of it, but you've got to embrace it, you've got to accept it, and you've got to turn it into something like Zeno did, because you may well change the world because of it. Most of the things that I've tried to do in life as a business person, people have said weren't going to be successful. Someone predicted that the obstacle is the way. This is a close friend, not so much anymore. They predicted that the obstacle is the way would sell 5,000 copies. My publisher didn't think it would be successful at all. They hoped I would get this crazy idea out of my head. When I opened a bookstore, someone posted a Google review. They said something like, I look forward to whatever is going to be in this space next. That's how much they disliked what I was doing, or they disliked me as a person. I don't know. But one of the things that Stoics remind us is to not think about any of that, to not care about any of that. Marcus Aurelius says we care about ourselves more than other people, and then for some reason we care about their opinions more than our own, which is crazy. Like, you've got to know why you're doing what you're doing, why you think it's important, why you think it can be successful, why the math on it works, and that has to be enough. If you seek outside approval all the time, if you want everyone to tell you that you're amazing, if you want everyone to root for you, I got bad news. It's not going to happen. This is probably not for you. And so one of the things that Stoicism helps us with is building some of that confidence, not ego, that confidence to tune out criticism that doesn't matter, to tune out people that don't matter, to remember that some people are just jealous, some people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and that you don't have to listen to those people. Listen to your internal compass, listen to the work that you've done, the research that you've done, look at the work you've done in the past, the track record you have, and let that be enough. Do the right thing because it's the right thing. Make the decisions that you think are right for your business. I've made controversial ones. My employees haven't always liked it. Certain customers haven't always liked it. Certain reporters haven't liked it. Like, you get negative media coverage too. But I do what I think my business needs. I do what I think is the right thing to do. And everything else, well, I'll leave that to them. One of the things that Stoicism can teach us as business owners is already encapsulated in that idea of Murphy's Law, that what can go wrong will. Last year, when Texas froze over, we had problems with the roof. We knew that by the time this storm happened, here I am in 2022, dealing with freeze again, worries of the power grid collapsing, like they are underway putting on a new roof on the building. And that was an expense. It wasn't fun. But I'm investing in it, one, for peace of mind, and two, because I saw the damage that it caused last time and the inventory damage. And so deferring the expense was something I couldn't afford. So I had a contingency plan in place for exactly this, the idea of preparing for what life has in store for us. Not worrying about it, not being anxious about it, but taking tangible, concrete steps to improving your situation so that when the next thing goes wrong, and it inevitably will, you're not as vulnerable to it as you might otherwise have been. One of the things you learn running a business is that even though you're in charge, you're not really in charge at all. You can't make anyone do anything. As part of the Daily Stoic Leadership Challenge, we interviewed all these experts, generals, heads of NBA franchises, head coaches, people who had seemingly real power over other people. And I said, can you make people do stuff? And they said, no, you can't make people do anything. That's not how life works. There's a great line from Eisenhower. He said, leadership is the art of making people do things because they think they want to do them. You don't force anyone to do anything. And so the Stoic dichotomy of control is ultimately a critical lesson when you're running a business. You control what you do, you control what you say, you control the rules that you set, of course, you control the principles, you control the culture, but ultimately you don't make anyone do anything. You can try to lead by example, you can lead a horse to water. Force isn't gonna work, commands don't really work. At the end of the day, you don't make anyone do anything. You can try to convince them, you can try to create a culture, a momentum, but if people don't want to get with the program, if people aren't on the same page with you, it's not about forcing them, it's not about incentives, it's about saying, hey, you're not a right fit here, let's find someone who is. You should go off and do something that's good for you, where you want to do the things that the business needs you to do. And so I think ultimately, and this is a critical lesson because so many of the Stoics were in positions of power, is that ultimately you don't get to tell people what to do. That's a fantasy, it's an illusion, it's a chimera. You can try to convince them, but ultimately all we control as Stoics is ourselves, our own actions, our own decisions, our own emotions. And by the way, that's plenty to keep you busy. Like a lot of people, I have a tendency to overwork, to overdo, to overcommit, to take things too intensely. Marcus Aurelius warns himself against this in Meditations, and it's stuck with me always. He says, in your actions, don't procrastinate. In your conversations, don't confuse. In your thoughts, don't wander. In your soul, don't be passive or aggressive. In your life, don't be all about business. Don't be all about business. One of the beautiful parts of owning your own business is that suddenly you're in control. You get to make decisions. And I don't mean like you get to tell people what to do. That's not that special. What I mean is we can sit on the sidelines and complain about outsourcing or the minimum wage or, the excesses or the insufficiencies of capitalism. But when you run the business, you get to decide. When I had Tobias Lütke, the founder and creator of Shopify, who I actually use in my e-commerce business for Daily Stoic, but we were talking about this, I was saying how proud and excited and empowered I was by the opportunity to get to make business decisions, like to make our stuff in the US, to pay our employees fairly, to provide healthcare for employees. I remember a decision on the challenge coins that we sell. When they would come from the manufacturer, we use this mint in Minnesota. It's been in business for like 150 years. They would send each one wrapped in this like sealed little plastic bag. And the decision as the client, as the customer, to be able to go, I don't want those plastic bags. They just get torn off and thrown in the trash. I want to reduce the ecological impact that I'm having in that real way, and that's my call, it's my decision. And so I think one of the really cool things about Stoicism in business, it's not just that Stoicism can help you be more successful as a business owner, but it should make you a better business owner in the sense that you get to apply the ethics of the philosophy, the concern for the common good that the Stoics talk about. You get to actually make those decisions. You get to be the change that you want to see in the world, as the expression goes, but you get to be that person. You get to be the good, ethical, hopefully contributive member of society that you wish perhaps other businesses were, bigger companies were, but you get to do that. That's a huge opportunity. I hope you like this video. I hope you subscribe. But what I really want you to subscribe to is our daily Stoic email, one bit of Stoic wisdom, totally for free to the largest community of Stoics ever in existence. You can sign up at dailystoic.com/email. There's no spam. You can unsubscribe at any time. I love sending it. I've sent it every day for the last 6 years, and I hope to see you there at dailystoic.com/email.